So we do have some, we have a variety of different kind of service projects coming up that they're kind of all over the board. We've got one coming up shortly that is, we're basically removing, I don't know, close to 100-year-old equipment on the 3rd Street project.
Yeah, 1930s.
1930s. And we've posted some pictures and videos of that location, and we'll show them again. But yeah, we're doing a 4-unit multifamily dwelling unit with a, home unit panel too, metered home location. So five meters total, 5 meter stack.
Yep.
So it's going to be a big learning experience for us. This will be the first one of this kind that we've done for Lumen Brothers. So it'll be a good. Anytime we have something like that, there are projects like that you do a lot of, right? Like heavy ups. We do a lot of heavy ups, but we don't do a lot of 5 meter stack heavy ups, right? We don't do a lot of multifamily dwelling units because we're a smaller residential company.
Yeah.
So this is the first one of that kind that we're doing. So, any insight you guys want to throw our way as we head into it. Now, we're really excited about that one because it's going to give us an opportunity to, anytime you can step into something that you've done before, but you haven't done in this, a scale like this, I think it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Just mounting that meter, I think the first step in the process was having a conversation with the client about, how do we mount this heavy ass, meter stack on your historic terracotta brick home. Yeah. What's the move? We talked to our guru in Frederick, and he mentioned, possibly setting two sticks of rigid in the ground and basically creating a field structure. But the homeowner didn't really want to do that. So we're going to go straight to that brick.
Which, driving around town, all the houses are of the same time period.
And you see a lot of that.
You see a lot of it. So, now, when they fall off, you probably don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't think it will.
No.
But I think we were just nervous.
Yeah, just nervous. Yeah.
Don't take that chance. Especially because they're going to kill power.
Right.
Power companies can kill power while we go do it. So if we can't get it to stay on that wall that day, we're going to have to pivot and then build our structure with rigid.
Without the power on. Yeah.
Which, there's nobody living there, but all the other trades are in there trying to wrap up, so.
Yeah, you want to piss off all the other trades. Cut power to the entire structure.
Sparky!
Yeah. Yeah. So, that one's coming up. Lots to think about with that one. Lots to plan. The load calculation was a good one. Was a great practice for us. And then we've got another interesting farmhouse service that's coming up. Here's one for you, Josh. I was walking through that farmhouse service with Rich, the inspector, doing the pre-inspection. Some of the counties out here, Frederick County, has been requiring more and more pre-inspections going into service upgrades than ever before. We just had another one called in for Frederick County for a really simple one, but I think that's how they're rolling now, pre-inspections. So he came out to look at this one, and one of the things he was really wanted to be specific about us hitting was bonding the cold and the hot water pipes together, even though this is a well-fed service, or this is a well-fed home, so there's no copper piping in the ground. The water's coming through in a PVC pipe that converts to the house's copper pipes inside. But he was adamant a number of times. We walked through that basement space looking at where we could bond the hot and the cold together. He said it numerous times. I've never done that.
And then back to the panel, or
Correct.
Just together?
Correct. Back to the panel. Yep. I've never done that. We always bond the cold water, obviously, with the number 4 stranded copper. But those are in instances, typically, where the cold water pipe continues in the ground. So you've got this earthen copper ground, which is a great, I'm sure it gives you the resistance you're looking for. But in this instance, you don't have that copper going underground But he was adamant, and it was the first time an inspector had taken me through, and he was like looking for the various spots. He's like, here's where you could do it. You could jump from this hot to this cold on your bond. Just make sure you get, so we've got to fish across that little crawl space again to get our number 4 down there. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I've never had to do that before. And maybe some of y'all out there, that's something you guys see all the time, do all the time, but it's not something that's been required of us here yet. But he definitely made sure to mention that, and he's going to be our inspector on that one. So for that one, that's an old farmhouse. That's the, I think I posted a video of this one. This is the one where the existing electrical panel is behind a toilet, and they framed around it in a way that you can't even access the panel or anything. So we're going to relocate it to the adjacent interior wall.
They weren't able to get all the screws under the cover, right?
No, they took the door off the cover too, so there was no
So it
door.
didn't have to swing open.
It's a dooz. So then we were gonna relocate that outside, but per Rich's suggestion, he's like, just put it on this adjacent interior wall might be a better move, which I liked. So we're gonna do that one, and then we've got another. Just put in a proposal for another one, and we just sold one panel swap and one other heavy up. So it's just like heavy up season, I guess. Yeah.
These things come in waves because last
Yeah.
year we didn't do very many at all.
Yeah.
The year before that we did a ton.
Yeah, it's funny. It does seem like that. Like when you start doing a certain type of job, then all of a sudden you're doing like a lot of those types of job. It's like, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You start getting weird service. I was talking to a guy at the supply house, and he's like, as soon as I start getting like service calls where I'm troubleshooting, he's like, that's all it is. It just is troubleshooting for like a month.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it comes in waves. So yeah, what are you guys doing? What do you guys got coming up? What are you working on? What's coming in waves in your area? And what are you going to do about it? The fuck are you going to do?
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.